right, mistake number 3 is buying an old property. Okay, now bottom line up front, if you buy an old property, you're a dimwit. Okay, now I don't mean to be rude, but I just want to sort of just get some sort of shock effect in there. Now the reason is, right, it's just, first of all, the government's got a responsibility to increase the housing stock in the country. Okay, and even now they're not doing a very good job of it, are they? And but as the population grows, we've got foreign migrants arriving, we've got new babies being born, and you know those new babies turn into 18-year-olds one day who need to buy a house, you know, some stage in their early adult life. So the government has to sort of incentivise people to build so that the housing stock increases. They can either incentivise or they can go and build housing commission. And housing commission is always a bad idea. It hasn't worked out well, right? So anyway, so all of the government policies are geared towards building a brand new home, right? So first home owners grant now in every state of Australia, you must build a brand new home to get that grant or you don't get it, okay? And then all the depreciation claims now, there's like 2 sets of rules for depreciation claims. If you buy your property brand new, maximum benefit. If you buy it second hand, half the benefit, right? But also too, there's a risk management element to this, okay? When you buy a brand new home, you've got a builder's warranty and a structural guarantee. If you buy a second-hand home, you don't have those things, right? And in Australia, our consumer law is buyer beware, caveat emptor, right? So once you take ownership of the property, too bad, that's it, it's yours, the problems are yours. And if you ever read sure you can get a building inspector and a pest inspector to go have a look at that house. But if you buy a second-hand home, you really don't know what you're buying. And it's a very high risk proposition. It's unlikely that you'll buy a lemon, but if you do, it's extraordinarily expensive if there's structural problems or pest infestation problems or things like that that you have to fix, right? So there's that. Also too though, a brand new home is much, much better on cash flow, heaps better on cash flow. So if you don't like money and you like to waste it, buy an old house, and I'll explain to you why. So let's just say we've got 2 houses side by side. They're of the same value. Let's say they're both worth 500 grand and they're next to each other. But one's brand new and one's second hand. One's 20 years old. The brand new property will cost you $200 a week less to hang on to than the old property will. And I'll tell you why. There's 2 reasons why. The first reason is maintenance and the second reason is depreciation. And I'll explain how those work. So when you buy a brand new property, there's no maintenance for the first 10 years. A little bit, you know. And then the maintenance really doesn't kick in until the property's about 20 years old. And then you have this block obsolescence where you start replacing everything, right? So answer this, right? How much it costs to redo the curtains in a house? All the curtains of all the bedrooms, you know, blinds and curtains. At least $5 grand if you do it on the cheap, probably 10 grand, right? So 5 to 10 grand. How much it costs to replace the 20-year-old carpets? 5 to 10 grand. How much it costs to replace all the air conditioning units, right? 5 to 10 grand. How much does it cost to repaint the inside of a house? 5 to 10 grand. Repaint the outside? 5 to 10 grand. How much does it cost to reseal the roof? Yeah, 5 to 10 grand. How much does it cost to replace the hot water system? How much does it cost to replace the kitchen, the bathrooms? You know, once a house gets about 20 years old, it starts costing a lot of money in maintenance. Now, 5 grand a year, you need, when the house is 20 years old, you need to start budgeting 5 grand a year. I see this a lot, people, before they meet me and they don't have any proper coaching, or education, they go and buy these old houses and then they come to me and they go, oh, Damo, this house is burying us. And over read, I go, look at your bloody maintenance. You go, you got to keep fixing the thing because the thing's so bloody old. Like, oh, yeah, geez, we wish we met you first. But you got to budget about 5 grand a year. Now, if there's 52 weeks in a year, that's $100 a week you have to budget for maintenance. So if you buy an old property, what's going to happen is you'll be getting the rent in, but you'll be putting $100 a week of the rent towards your maintenance budget, right? So maintenance is the big one. And the second one is depreciation. Now, what a lot of people don't realise is you can claim the depreciating value of a house on tax, okay? Now, this is for investment properties, right? Can't do it on your own home, but can do it on investments. Now, depreciating value of a house. A brand new house will get you at least 15 grand now in the first year. So what does that mean? That means you earn 100 grand a year, you're paying 25 grand tax, right? You claim 15 grand on tax, your income is now reduced to 85 grand, okay? You've paid tax on 15 grand that you shouldn't have paid, probably a third, so you're going to get 5 grand back, okay? So if you claim 15 grand on tax, you'll get 5 grand back in tax return of real money. The beautiful thing about depreciation is it's a theoretical deduction. It's not, you didn't actually spend 15 grand and the house didn't actually go down in value 15 grand. It's a theoretical deduction only. So, but you get real money back that lands in your bank account, real dollars that you can spend. So if you're getting 5 grand extra in your tax return back because the property's new, then that's $100 a week, right? So here's the difference. Remember the original example was 2 houses side by side, one that's brand new, one that's 20 years old. 20-year-old house is not getting $5,000 a year in its depreciation claim in tax return because it's old and it's already, all the depreciation is just about done, right? And it's bleeding, so it's not got $100 coming in and it's bleeding $100 out. Brand new property doesn't have to spend $100 a week on maintenance and gets an extra $100. So it's a $200 difference, right? Which is $10,000 a year. Now, if you want to waste $10,000 a year, go and buy a second-hand old crappy home, right? That's what I'm saying. You're a dimwit if you do, right? Buy your properties brand new. All the benefits are there.